This is Lake Wylie. It's minutes away from Still Creek. I had to come out here, man. It was like 75 degrees today. Coming out here. Just chilling out. So for those that didn't hear what I was saying in the very beginning of this video, I was at Lake Wylie yesterday. We experienced some nice weather yesterday, man. You know, in North Carolina, I think Georgia. I don't know about Virginia, but I definitely know North Carolina and Georgia. Florida, you know, they always have good weather. But, you know, North Carolina and Georgia, we experienced some nice weather yesterday. Here in Charlotte, it was 75. And from what I'm looking, excuse me, let me take that back. So North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. So what I'm looking at, you know, for as dealing with the news, they were like, some places in South Carolina, the high was like 83, 84. You understand? So, you know, man, we had some great weather, straight up. And then today, which is Saturday, the temperature dropped. The high is supposed to be about 50 something, 56 or something like that. You know, sunny. And then this week is supposed to go back up. You understand? But for the most part, yesterday was so relaxing, man. You know, I went out there to Lake Wylie and just sat out there and looked at the water. You know, we actually have access to two lakes. So here in Charlotte, you have Lake Wylie, which is like minutes away from Still Creek. And then we have Lake Norman, which is minutes away from Charlotte. You understand? You know, it's like, it sits like North Charlotte. It's minutes away from North Charlotte. So it sits like right on the top of Charlotte, and Lake Wylie sits on the bottom. So Lake Wylie is not too far from South Charlotte, and Lake Norman is not too far from North Charlotte. Lake Norman is I don't want to say it's bigger, it's wider. I'll say that. Lake Wylie, it appears to be smaller because it's kind of like it's more it's lengthier. You understand, if that's the word? You know, but man, it was a beautiful day, man, in Charlotte overall, period. You know, beautiful day to go to the park, you know, beautiful day just to sit outside in front of your house and all of that. And this brings me to a point. I hear a lot of people, man, or rather should I say, I read a lot of comments, you know, in my comments in the comment section of my videos, DMs, emails, that, you know, they're just people just trying to get away from the hustle and bustle. You know, of course, you everywhere you go in America, at least in America, you're gonna have to work. That's a fact. Sometimes you're gonna have to work 2-3 jobs. But there's a difference when you're living in like New York, for an example, where you're working 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs, and then it takes you hours to get to commute, to get to work, and hours to get back. And then there's hardly any type of vegetation, trees, and, you know, all of that stuff that the South has to offer. So, you know, I'm constantly bombarded with people telling me, yo, man, I want to move my family out of these northern states, or I want to move my family out of this area because it's just too much to crime and blah, 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 blah. And of course, please don't say this in the comment section. There's going to be crime everywhere. There's going to be people that are disrespectful, traffic, all of that stuff everywhere. But the thing of it is, here in the South, it's a difference. It's a little bit more laid back than a lot of other places. And it has, both things to offer. You know, if you decide, like, say, for example, like tonight, if I decided I want to go hang out, I could go to Uptown. I could drive 20 minutes. It takes me about, I ain't gonna say that. I take that back. So being that it's not no traffic, and for some mysterious, odd reason, I don't know why, but late at night, like I say about after 8, People know how to drive in Charlotte. So it'll take me about 12 minutes to get to Uptown if I want to party up there. You know what I'm saying? South End, Uptown Charlotte, you know what I'm saying? Central Avenue. If I want to go hang out in Optimus Park or Optimus Mall. Well, they're calling it Optimus Park now, because the whole area, whatever, if I'm not mistaken. North Carolina, the Music Factory, all in that area. Take me about 12 minutes to get up there, because everybody's doing 77 on Highway 77. And then, when I'm done, after I, whatever I did, I might have had a drink, or something like that. I might have went to a brewery, you know what I'm saying. Because they got tons of that, you know what I'm saying? Local, there's so many people that are locally brewing beer in Charlotte till it's ridiculous. You understand? So you go out, drink, have your drink or whatever have you. Make sure that you are not going beyond the limit. You know what I'm saying? Past the limit, because man, they'll lock your ass up for DUI. Easy. You understand? So, go hang out and drive back home. And yeah, I can get into into something when I'm uptown. And then when I'm done, I can leave all of the people yelling and screaming and having a good time or whatever have you, the crowds, and come back to tranquility, which is where I live at. It's peace, in South Charlotte. It's peaceful. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. People are just trying to find some type of peace in these, I'm going to say, you know what I'm going to say, in these fucked up times that we living in. And that's just a reality. And who am I to discourage somebody from moving here, or tell somebody, oh, you can't move here, or not want anyone to get a piece of the peace that I get? Especially if they're just like me. Especially if they're, all they're trying to do is just, work hard and if you don't have a family, build a family. If you do have a family, protect your family. Make sure that your family is well taken care of. And have memories. Memories when you get old and you can reflect back like, oh yeah, I remember back in 2025 we had that cookout, and Aunt Susie came, and that was the last time grandma we call them Granny came, you know what I'm saying, because the next year she passed away. Man, it's nothing like it. It's nothing like it, man. It's nothing like living in the South and in these warm, and when it's warm, and it's not like extremely hot, because it does get extremely hot in the South. It really does. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, that's a definite. I mean, Florida, of course. You know what I'm saying? But North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, man, it's times. I can't even really talk about Georgia like that, like far as an Atlanta area, because Atlanta has one thing about Atlanta, which makes it so beautiful, are the trees, man. You know what I'm saying? So the trees kind of like, like that. It takes that, takes that sun out of you. You know what I'm saying? It takes the sun away from you, because it's nothing but trees out there. But in North Carolina, dry land, and it is trees, but it ain't that many trees. Like North Carolina heat is another type of heat. I remember when people were like, yo, man, when you move to Atlanta, man, hot Atlanta is off the hook, this and that, so forth. I got down there and I'm like, all right, what y'all talking about again? Straight up. Because, I mean, on some real shit, like, I don't think for those that live in North Carolina, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I'll say this. I even think that here in Still Creek, we get a little break. No lie, because truth be told, in my community, if there was a walkway, you understand, I can walk through the woods to get to Lake Wylie right now, because that's how close I am to the lake. Like, I could walk through the woods to get to Lake Wylie. So I think that personally, it doesn't get, it gets hot, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't get as hot as it would anywhere else in Charlotte, because of the lake. Like the water kind of absorbs a lot. Well, excuse me, let me take it back. It brings, see, I'm trying to be a scientist and I'm fucking up. Or meteorologist, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why they call them meteorologists. And they're talking about the weather, and you hear meteor, or as a meteorologist. I don't know. Anyway, so what happens is, let me take it back. So what it is the dry air. So we're like kind of not surrounded, but somewhat surrounded around here in Still Creek. We're somewhat surrounded around Lake Wylie. So we get moisture in the air. It's moisture in the air because there's water around. You understand? But living somewhere else, like on another part of Charlotte, well, let me say like Raleigh or Durham, where there's little to no water. Like they got like Jordan Lake. They got lakes, and lakes are small. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no streams. Well, Eno River, I think that's what they call it, like in North Durham or whatever. That's real small too. You know what I'm saying? But it's that dry heat, that dry air. That's what I'm talking about. But you don't get that in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was down there in the summer, it rained a lot. It rained a lot. But yeah, man, you know, it's nothing like, besides the tornadoes, the hurricanes are not both. I think tornadoes, because a lot of hurricanes occur in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. But besides the tornadoes, the extreme weather, like when it's 101, 101 degrees, besides that, when it's a decent warm day outside and you get a nice breeze, oh my God, it's nothing like it. Nothing like it. And it doesn't make a difference where you're at. Like I've lived in Raleigh, Durham, Greensboro, and there have been moments where I was like, yo man, this is what I'm saying. If I could have a moment like this all the time, I'll live here. Or rather, I'll stay here. Straight up. And I know, stop it. I know y'all gonna try to roast me in the comment section. Well, you know, we get that in New York. We go upstate New York. Let me tell you something. For real. Let's just make it known. There's nothing like the South because we have warm weather most of the year, throughout the year. We don't have people piled up on top of each other, at least not now as of yet. It's getting there. You know what I'm saying? We're not like crowded. You know, a lot of people in Metro Atlanta, in Atlanta, when I was down there, they were like, yo man, we don't need any more people coming here, this and that, so forth. I'm like, I get it, but it's still not that crowded, man. It's still not. Excuse me, it's still not. I know it for a fact because you still need to get a car to get around the metropolitan area. I know that it's not overcrowded anywhere, at least in North Carolina, South Carolina, Carolina, and Georgia, because you still need to drive. You still need to be able to get in the car and drive around. In South Carolina and Georgia, man, it's still rural areas. And in North Carolina, but mostly in South Carolina and Georgia. It's still real country. You know what I'm saying? But like, yo, man, I applaud you all for wanting to get the hell out of a situation that you feel as though that is hell. Like you're living in hell. I know what that shit feels like. And I tell you, seriously, I'm not lying. This is not my final destination. I've told you all this numerous times, you understand? But for the most part, I can say that living in Charlotte right now, I'm content. I'm content. Y'all should have seen the smile on my face yesterday, man, as I was just standing out looking at the lake, straight up. And seriously, man, it's making me seriously think about this for real. First and foremost, I'm never living. This is two things that I want to be able to do wherever I'm living in. I want it to be hot year long. It's the first thing. And the second thing, I want to be coastal. If not coastal, I want to be around a couple of lakes. I want to be around water. I want to be around heat and water. That's what I want. So while I was sitting there looking at the water, I'm saying to myself, you know what, man? My next project is I want to buy a boat. Maybe just like a regular fisher boat, you know what I'm saying, and buy a motor, you know what I'm saying? Because the motor's gonna cost more, of course. Starting off with that. And you know, I don't fish, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a pescatarian, you know, I'm a vegetarian. So just starting off with that, and then working myself up to getting, you know, a bigger boat. And like, I just seen, you know, the people out there and they had their boats, and I was like, yo, man, that shit is so dope. And then Lake Norman, I don't know about Lake Wylie, but Lake Norman, you can rent out boats. And I'm going to do that this summer, for real. That's my word. And I'm going to vlog it, whatever. It's nothing like the South, man. Fuck racism. Fuck, you know, being underpaid. And all of the ills that come with the South at times. Fuck all of that. I think most times when people that are born and raised in the South, when they talk about the South and you see the sparkle in their eyes and their true sincerity in what they're saying, they're just really negating all the negativity and just talking about all of the positive shit. And for all of the positive shit, oh man, it's nothing like it. It's nothing like it, man. And I can tell you, yo, seriously, I've experienced the North. You know, I've lived in the North. I've clubbed in the North. I've done some of everything in the North. New York in specific. And I have my memories and my good times there. You know, but I also have, the beautiful thing about me is, yo, I'm a hybrid. You know, I'm half and half. You know, I also have memories and good times and all the rest of that shit in the South as well. You know, before I became a vegetarian. I remember going out with my uncle and my grandfather, and you know, they would take me fishing and shit. And that's an experience within itself. You know, my grandfather, you know, my mom, you know, my immediate family, we were damn near poor. I ain't gonna say we were poor, but we were damn near poor. But my grandfather, my grandmother, they were middle class, you know, people. You know, my grandmother, my grandfather, they had a Winnebago. They had a boat. They had all that shit. So I experienced some shit when I was younger that I could never possibly experience when I was in New York. So what we need to do is we need to just stop it with this war that we having with one another. Well, you know, New York is this, New York is that, and this and that and so forth. Most of the times, man, New Yorkers, I'm not trying to be funny, I'm just being real. Y'all are instigators. Y'all always like starting shit. Well, New York is this, New York is that. Man, you're not in New York, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Let's just appreciate, you know what I'm saying, where we live at and where we're from. Because I know when I was living in New York, I didn't say, yo, man, I wish I was in North Carolina, man. I can't take this motherfucking snow. This shit is killing me. This and that and so forth. Yo, man, I wish I was in North Carolina, man. These niggas in New York, they just full of shit and they blah, 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 and this and that and so forth. I never complained when I was in New York, when I was living in New York. Never. I always accepted New York for what it had to offer, and in North Carolina what it has to offer. All the time. But yeah, man, you know, it's just the truth, man. It's nothing like the fucking South and the summers and pool parties and shit. The shit you can't do in New York unless you fucking filthy rich. But down here, you could be an average nigga with a pool in the back of your yard. My great aunt had a pool. When I used to visit for the summers, like when I lived in New York as a kid and I used to come down for the summers, I used to go to my Aunt Odessa. That's my Aunt Odessa, my great aunt. She passed away. May she rest in peace. You understand? But I used to go swimming in her pool every summer. This is some regular shit that regular people can have. Straight up. Yo, they got pools that they'll dig your fucking backyard up, plant that bitch in there and tell you, yo, your payments are $135 a month. You can finance you a pool and be swimming in that bitch this summer. Can you do that in New York? And it's no disrespect, I'm just being real. Can you have those type of memories in New York? Unless you're fucking, if you in Queens, you know, your family staying in Jamaica Estates or some shit like that. You in Long Island, you know, your family stays in Long Island and they got mad money. Yeah, man, I understand it. And this ain't no hype. This is real shit. This is real shit, man. It ain't nothing like no motherfucker. Ain't nothing like New York summers. Ain't nothing like no Southern excuse me, Southern summers. Nothing like it. Nothing like it, man. Cookouts. You know what I'm saying? I'm really gonna invest in a real grill. I got a rinky-dink one right now. It serves its purpose. Don't get it twisted. But I got a rinky-dink one right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to step it up. Straight up. You come through the crib. I'm gonna have veggie kebabs over here. Oh, you want a sandwich? You want a burger? I'm gonna have my goddamn black bean burgers over there. All that. But yeah, man, you know, man, bring your ass down here and get you a piece of fucking mind, because it ain't nothing like it. It's nothing like it. And for you, you know, you tree huggers, you know, such as myself, you know, come down here and you plant, you get grounded. You know what I'm talking about. For those that don't know, do your research. You get grounded. Become one with nature. Become one with the earth. You ain't got to worry about fucking excuse me, dogs and all types of shit pissing and shitting every fucking where. You know what I'm saying? These parks, they tell you to curb your fucking dog. These communities, people can't just have their dog shit every goddamn where. You gotta pick that shit up. You'll be fined for that if you get caught with your dog urinating and defecating every goddamn where. And your dog being off a leash. You know what I'm saying? Come down here and get you some of that fucking Southern hospitality, because it still somewhat exists. Where people say, hi, good morning, how you doing? But yeah, man, you know, straight up, man, the South is what it is. And there are times where the South can give you a peace of mind. Man, believe it or not, it's peaceful hearing those crickets. You know what I'm saying? Late at night. You know, you hear that shit like, excuse me, you'll hear that shit like, you know, in the summertime. It's peaceful hearing birds chirp. You know, it depends on where in the South you're at. Some of y'all get the cock-a-doodle-doo, you know what I'm saying? And the moo and all that shit. You know, for now, I only get the birds chirping early in the morning. It's nothing like it, man. You opening up your windows and the sun comes through, you know, and man, you're in your house, you know what I'm saying? And yo, man, I gotta go. I'm gonna get me some of this peace that I'm talking about. I'm about to wash my hair and, you know, probably go for a walk in the community, man.